What's up, Scrapyard? As you guys know, I'm the #1 Loba in the whole wide world, cross-platform. I have 115,000 kills with Loba, and I've been playing her since day 1 in Season 5. As with every new season, it's time to give you guys another How to Play Loba. This is for Season 14. Without further ado, let's get it. Bam ba bam bam bam. Bam ba bam 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 ba 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 bam bam ba bam bam. Alright, welcome back, guys. If you're familiar with my content and you've been watching a lot of my videos on YouTube and TikTok, you know that I've given many tips on Loba. And I don't want to be redundant in this video, so I want to try to go over some new concepts on how you should be playing Loba this season. If you do want to check those other videos out, like I said, go to my YouTube and TikTok. It's kind of what I do out here. TikTok is xLilScrappy. Be sure to follow me on there. The first tip I want to give you guys is the idea of spacing. And this is particularly important, especially for endgame scenarios. Spacing is taking up more space within the circle, within whatever part of the circle that you're in. And you can cover up more space by taking wide split off angles. And this is one thing that Loba is really good at. Actually the best in the game. Taking up space within a fight is important because, well, imagine you and your team are all grouped up together, essentially taking zero space. What this allows the enemy team to do is to take advantage of your lack of spacing. They now have more room to push you and get aggressive. The way you want to counter that is to create more spacing, to have you and your teammates more spread out, covering more angles, thus making it harder for an enemy to push you from a certain angle. And as a Loba main, it is your job to cover up that space by playing an off angle. And the reason why she's good at that is because of her bracelet. Her bracelet is important in this scenario while covering up more space, because a good enemy team is going to try to flush you out as a solo and isolate you. Once you recognize that, communicate that with your team. Yo, I'm being swung out by all of them. And brace it back towards your teammate. And at that point, you just simply repeat the process until you guys are able to get that first knock. So as a Loba main in a fight, you're isolated most of the time, and that's how it should be. And that's because your bracelet can get you A to B safely without taking any damage. And that's one reason why I'm so great at playing Loba. I came from Rainbow Six Siege, a game that heavily relies on angles. So playing a character like Loba, who also heavily relies on angles and creating new angles for their team, they both go hand in hand, and it's something that I'm really good at. And it's something that you guys need to start practicing at. So that's the first tip, taking up more space within a fight as Loba. I've talked to you guys about aggressive bracelets. I've talked to you guys about being creative with your bracelets. But one thing that I haven't discussed much is how you should support your teammates as Loba. Again, it all revolves around angles. If your teammate is weak or being fleshed out by all enemies, you want to bracelet near them, provide cover, and open up a new angle for your team. Supporting your teammate in this manner is effective because, again, if your teammate is weak or being fleshed out by all 3 enemies, once you teleport to them, your presence alone is enough to delay the enemy's push. Loba is a support legend after all, and it's not just for her loot. Supporting your teammates this way can help you win more of your gunfights. The way I look at it, Loba, is she's sort of like a guardian of the team, the protector. If somebody needs help, you brace it towards them, and you help provide them cover from above. Loba is intrinsically a simple character to play, but because she directly coincides with angles, and understanding angles is very complex, this makes mastering Loba a little more difficult than you would think. Which is why I try to give you guys these tips. No one explains Loba like I do, and there's nobody that plays Loba like I can. And that's something I'm very confident about. With my knowledge of her and the time that I've spent playing with her, I feel overly qualified to be giving you guys these tips. Maybe it goes in one ear and out the other, I'm not sure. I know a lot of these concepts for lower skilled players are new. It might be difficult to comprehend. Hopefully confronting you with these ideas jogs your brain a little bit and gets you thinking about the game in a different aspect. Not only just Loba, but the game entirely. I was a damn good player when the first game dropped off. Above average. 4 KD in Season 2 when the stats came out. I was a Wraith main, but it wasn't until I played a legend like Loba. More or less, she gave me new meaning in life and forced me to play a different way. Pretty much, she made me a smarter player. And if you could fully buy into these tips and buy into Loba herself, the same can happen for you. I can also discuss something about her ultimate that I never have before. But there's so many people in my comments who think that they know more than me, that tell me, Scrappy, you should have taken down your Loba ult. You should always do it. And that's true, there are some circumstances when you should take it down. Most of the time, it doesn't matter. If you're out of ring and there's no team near you, what's the point? In fact, sometimes I'll use it as a form of reconnaissance. There may be no team now, but eventually a team may cross its path and use my Loba ult, and now I know exactly where they're at. Now I have the jump on them. But yes, most of the time in the middle of a fight, you'll want to take that Loba ult down. If you've already instigated a fight, you do not want the enemies looting your ult quickly like you do. And of course, as I've explained many times, there are different ways to use your ult as well. You can use it as cover. You can use it as cover when reviving your teammate. You can use it to block doors. You can use it to drown out your sound when pushing a team. Pretty much what I'm getting at is there are many ways to use Loba. You want to find the way to use her effectively. And the tips that I give you are how you're supposed to do it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I hope you guys learned a little bit. And yeah, that's it. Have a good day. Bam ba bam bam bam. Bam ba bam 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 ba 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 bam bam ba bam bam bam. Bam ba bam 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 ba ba bam 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 bam. Bam ba bam 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 ba ba bam